Those of you who got an invite, welcome to Nerd Prom.
No matter where in the world you are, we're all Nerds International. With the hyphen.
Alright, YouTube, it's Mr. Mean coming at you from Beaumont, Texas. Gloomy, swamp-ass, rainy Beaumont, Texas. We got a tropical depression out in the Gulf, and it's throwing wonky weather. They're saying, and of course, you know, meteorologists are like Jedi. They just don't exist. Their powers don't exist, I should say. They're forecasting like 14, 15 inches of rain by the weekend, between now and the weekend. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, today's video du jour is one I didn't think I'd ever do. Really didn't. I'm not a fan of their big game. I shouldn't say I'm not a fan. I don't have any interest in running their big game. I'll play in it if push comes to shove, but I won't go out of my way. And what game is that? What game company, dare you say, would make a game that Mr. Mean would not run and or play? Pathfinder. That's right, folks. Starfinder. It's out. It's after Gen Con. It came out Saturday, I think, Friday or Saturday last week, and it was at the Eton Games. I went down there. They had a little in-house RPG day, and so I ran a demo of Conan. Everybody enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun with it, and it was a lot of fun. But that happened to be sitting on the shelf, and I got the GM screen, which I left downstairs, so I'm not going to necessarily review it. It's a GM screen. It has fantastic art on it, and has useful charts on the inside. And to be honest, I really haven't looked at it. I did take it out of the shrink wrap, and I looked at the art and went, ooh, and that's as far as I went. So I'm making a character right now. I'm actually making two characters. I'm going to try to run a little demo for my game group and see how it goes. Just a one-shot, you know, first-level characters, and give it a try. So first and foremost, I apologize. It's been a little bit over a week since I made another video. I was gone over the weekend to Eton Games for the day, and I planned on whipping out a video when I got home Saturday night last week, and well, no, I was tired. Spent all day. I got to run Conan in the morning, and then in the afternoon I played Dungeon Crawl Classic with David Donahoe, the owner, or one of the owners of Eton Games. So it was a fantastic day. Had a lot of fun. So yeah, I haven't done a video. Baby's 7 months. He's getting big. He's about set right at 17 pounds, and he's like 26, possibly longer, inches long. 26 inches long. He's getting there, man. So anyway, a lot of contributing factors. Crappy weather, just didn't feel like doing a video. So I wanted to get this out. And then foreshadowing of things to come in the near future, I will also be doing my review of paper that's got caught under my fingers. I'm dying here. Come on, man. That's what happens when you make your book so damn big. Through the Reach version 2. It's now a single rule book. It combines the Fate's Almanac, the Fated book, and the Fate Master's Almanac into one big book. They've cleaned it up. We'll do a review on it. I'm still reading through it, and we'll get into that later. But this review, Starfinder Core Rules. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Pathfinder system. Paizo's a great company. I've ordered things from them in the past. Great customer service. You know, I buy other things from them. They're one of the people that do have in stock a lot of the Dark Eye products, which I try to buy everything that comes out for the Dark Eye, as I'm a huge fan of it. So I use Paizo, you know, publishing quite a bit for their online store. So where does my disdain for Pathfinder come from? Well, 3.5 ended, I think, on a low note. That being, and what I mean by that is there were too many books. It suffers the Rift syndrome. Palladium's Rift. Palladium's great company, great game system. I like their mechanics, but the problem with the game is there's 400 books to make a character out of, and every book escalates, past the next book. So, if you're playing a core character out of the main book, and then Joe Blow is playing the latest, greatest character, he will overshadow him. He has more abilities, more damage, and it just gets to be too much. And as a GM and as a player, there's just too much, and we need to. I understand game companies need to sell books, and they need to, keep revenue coming in. And the joy as a consumer is you don't have to buy it. And I stopped buying all the Rift stuff because it was just too much. I couldn't keep up with it, and it's just too much money. I mean, and I think Rifts, Palladium's has some of the best price points in the industry. I mean, their books, they're typically softback unless it's a core rule book, and then it's hardback, and they're black and white, and they're priced appropriately. I think they're great. This was $60 for how many pages we got? Aside from advertising and character sheet, we have 521 pages. That includes an index. So it's a chunky book. 500-page book now is kind of the norm. But where this deviates from Pathfinder is it's its own game. And they've done a lot of cool things to streamline this and make it a little bit better or faster. I shouldn't say better, because Pathfinder is a good game. It's just not my cup of tea. It's too crunchy. For any of you grognards like me, crunchy is the bane of us. If I have to refer to 6 different books to find stats, I'm not happy. I'm not having fun. I want to tell a story. I want to play the game. I want basic rules that keep everything simple. Pathfinder is not that game. Pathfinder is 40 plus splat books, 2 or 3 different rule books, genre books they have out now. They have the horror companion. They have the mythic book, where you can play upper level characters and stuff. So there's a ton of stuff. Now, is that to say that it's a bad world? No. Glorantha is a phenomenal world. Galarian, I'm sorry. It is a phenomenal world, and the rich history and everything that they have in those books are phenomenal. And if I could buy them all, I would. I can't. I'm on a very strict budget right now, for the foreseeable future, and so I have to spend my gaming dollars wisely. So, I mean, this and the GM screen set me back $90. That's a lot of money in my book. I think $20 for a hardback GM screen is a little much. $15 would have been a good price point, but it is what it is. And this thing sold out every day at Gen Con. Every stack they put out at Gen Con for each day sold out. I mean, they sold out like in the first half a day, I think, before the half day mark. So, I mean, there's a cry for it. People wanted a new game system, and they got it. And it was Gen Con 50, and it's a big deal, and a lot of people went there with money to blow for that reason alone, because they knew it was Gen Con 50. It was a benchmark, and they wanted a commemorative from it, and so they got it. So kudos to Paizo for putting this out. I haven't really gone through the mechanics. I'm creating 2 characters right now, a priest and a soldier, and it's the standard 3.5 D&D Pathfinder, whatever you want to call it, crunch. You pick a class, you pick a race, and you go modifiers. They changed character creation from 3.5 or 3.75, as people like to call Pathfinder, and I like what they did. You get all your stats start at 10. You pick a theme. You don't have to, but you can pick a theme. You can even be themeless, and that's pretty cool. And then you pick a race, and you pick a class, and those give you bonuses and minuses to your 6 core attributes. And then on top of that, you get 10 points to spend, point for point, to adjust your attributes. That's it. It's pretty cut and dry. And if you like the old school of everybody has the same attributes and you just assign them where you want, they have that option in there. They also have a basic, for lack of a better word, a points buy method. So they did it really well. They changed up character creation. I haven't read through all of the mechanics yet. There's some things that are a little weird, but will make sense as you play the game. There's an EAC and a KAC, and that is energy armor class versus energy-based weapons, and then kinetic armor class versus basically kinetic energies. So If you shoot me with a laser beam, that's energy. So it would go off of my EAC. If you hit me with a sword or a club, or you shoot me with a projectile bullet, from a regular firearm, then it goes off against kinetic. So anything that physically touches you is kinetic. Anything that creates any kind of wave or anything or energy is energy armor class. So they do a real good job with that, and they explain it to you. There's also stamina points, hit points, and resolve. Neat mechanic. Where 5th edition went with the death saving throw, positive and a negative, and you got to make 3 of them. Here you get resolve points, which basically amounts to 3, and I believe as you level it goes higher. And with those resolve points, you can spend them. They're almost like hero points that they introduced in Pathfinder a couple years ago, and in D&D 4th edition. And they basically allow you to do certain things. You can stabilize, you can use them to heal other characters depending on your character class. So there's a lot of cool little things you can do with them. And I haven't read up on all of it. I haven't gone through the mechanics. I'm just reading how to make a character. And so far, I'm enjoying what I see. Is it a game I want to campaign? No. I have no desire to run a game because it still relies on CR values, and EC, encounter levels and things like that. And I don't like that style of game, because what happens with those games inevitably, especially now that we're adults, is you've got a gaming group of 4 players, you're ready to play, 2 of your players call out, can't make it. Bad weather, they're sick. In fact, I'm supposed to be gaming tonight at my local Wednesday night gaming group, but my kid is teething, my wife's tired, I'm tired, it's crappy weather outside. I just didn't want to be out in it. I wanted to stay home and relax. I've been on the go all day. It's been a long day. So you've got an adventure planned, and now all of a sudden half your party members crap out on you. Now you got to go through and adjust all of your adventures on the fly. That can be a pain in the ass for me. Some people don't have a problem with it. My good friend Brian Isakoff can blink it and it's done. But even he doesn't want to run games like this anymore. Probably do a one-shot. I think Bri will do a one-shot of it with his local group, and it'll sit on a shelf and collect dust. He might reference it every once in a while, but that's how it is. I mean, so did I drop $90 on a game I'll never play? Probably. But it's in my collection now, and I have it, and it is a beautiful book. I will tell you right now, Paizo went all out on the art. It's consistent art through and through the book. Each chapter is a nice, it almost looks like a painting, like an oil painting, but the art is crisp and clear, and it's very evocative of the setting and the genre, and it's really neat. And so I haven't looked at the list of artists that they have. I'm sure there's multiple artists, but it's definitely the theme and the tone of the art is maintained throughout the book. And to me, that's a big win in my book. It makes me want to read the book even more, because I want to flip the page and get to that next piece of astonishing art and go, wow, that's cool. And it really invokes what I'm reading about. So, really job well done there, guys, I will say to Paizo. Just going off the back of the book, all the rules you need to play or run the game of Starfinder are in this book. You don't need to buy anything else right now. You know how that goes. 7 character classes, from the elite soldier and the stealthy operative to the psychic hacking technomancer and the mind-bending mystic. Character races both new and classic, from androids and sectile Shirans, rat-like Soki, the reptilian Vesk, to the dwarves and elves of distant future. Now, I didn't see any stats in here for dwarves and elves, but that doesn't mean they're not in here. Like I said, I haven't gone through the book 100%. I just got it on Saturday. Didn't even have time to look at it over the weekend. I actually picked it up and looked at it for the first time Tuesday. And then today I started making a character. Yesterday and today. In-depth exploration of the Starfinder setting, including its planets, gods, factions, and threats. As I'm making a mystic type character, I did look through that, and it did look pretty cool. Hundreds of weapons, spells, technological gadgets, magic items, and other options to outfit your character. Yes, the equipment section in here is quite liberal. Very cool stuff. They go into the explanation of money, which is very cool. And they even tell you right now, they leave it in the hands of the GM. Basically everything, they use cred sticks like in Shadowrun, but what they look like and how they work, they tell you, GM, make it up, which I think that's phenomenal. That's a great... Why waste space on something that really doesn't matter? Players only care about the loot that they can go buy bigger and better weapons and armor. So very cool in that aspect. I like how they did that. Complete rules for starships, including customization and starship combat. Don't know, haven't gotten to that section. I did flip through the book a little bit. I did see some cool pictures. How it works or reads, I don't know. I do know it's like Star Trek, though. They recommend you start your players with a ship, and they give you basically some rules on how that works out. So I think that's cool. And then last but not least, rules and tips on using Pathfinder RPG content with Starfinder. I did see that section in here. I have not read it. I own a number of the Pathfinder books, so if I do, out of the blue, decide to run a small campaign of this, I have plenty of source material. So, like I said, the art is fantastic. I won't beat up on that anymore. Absalon Station is where the players start. And I don't know if there's a starting adventure in here. I think there is. Actually, I can tell you by looking at the index or the glossary. I would think there is. Well, it appears that there is not a starting adventure. Adventures and campaigns, but that only goes for about 6 pages. So I'm assuming there is no starting adventure in here. According to the chapter, legacy conversion, legacy races. So that goes into your Pathfinder stuff to import into this. So it doesn't appear that there is a starting adventure in here, which is okay because, let's face it, it's easy enough. If you're a GM, coming up with an adventure is probably not that hard. And what's cool is it kind of is fortuitous, and I don't know, maybe a tad bit foreshadowing, but when I went to RPG Game Day in Eton back in June, I got this, Starfinder. I didn't know what it was. I didn't really care because it was Pathfinder, Starfinder. I was like, meh, whatever. But I kept it. I don't know why I didn't throw it away. Maybe because it's a gaming book and it's like people throwing food away. It grates on me. So this has a bunch of, it's basically a monster manual. There's only like 8 or 10 pages. They've got goblins in here, and Paizo's goblins are probably the best in the industry. I'm sorry. D&D may have been doing it longer, but Paizo's doing it right. Their goblins are fantastic. I love their goblins. And their space goblins are in here, which is awesome. So First Contact is basically all about some various monsters and different challenge ratings for you to put in front of your players. Some of them to help, some to hinder. And it's pretty cool. So there's our space goblin. You can't go look at that. That's awesome. They have a laser gun that if they unstable junk laser. A space goblin's laser pistol is crafted from a mishmash of broken casings, leaking energy cells, and other random material. A junk laser is similar to a holdout laser pistol, except it has a range of only 60 feet. If the welder of a junk laser rolls a natural 1 with attacking with it, he must immediately attempt a difficulty check of 18 engineering. Success means that the junk laser gains the broken condition. Failure means that the gun explodes 1d3 minus 1 rounds, functioning as a concussion grenade, which explodes in 20 feet and does 1d8 blast damage, bashing damage. A reflex DC 10 for half damage. Dude, what more do you need? That's amazing. That's so much fun. I can just see these guys rolling ones left and right. In fact, I would go so far as to force them to roll a 1 and just let the players deal with it, because I think that would be hilarious. So anyway, if you can still find this, it might be hard to get a hold of, but if you go to your local comic book stores or game store and you see one laying around and you know you want to play Starfinder, pick it up, because this has got some cool stuff in it. Until that bestiary or monster manual, whatever they're going to call it, comes out. And they've got a couple of books planned for it. They're just not out yet. I mean, this just released over the weekend, or late last week. So either way, you got a while and you got some time to make up before you can actually physically go buy anything besides the core book. It is out on PDF. Sadly, I've seen some websites that have it for download already for free. So the pirators are already doing their job. And again, I don't necessarily condone that. I do understand that not everyone can afford the book, but it is what it is, and it's not going to stop. And at least they're gaming and getting some use out of it. And hopefully it'll maybe be enough that they can go out and buy the physical book. But that's a shame to see that someone bought it and then turned around and posted it. I think that's crappy. It takes money out of Paizo's hand and the artist and the people that have worked on this. And there's a lot of hard work that's a gorgeous book. So I don't condone that part. But hey, I understand it happens. So like I said, I haven't gotten to play it, but it's a beautiful book. It's a dense book. $60 from your local retailer. You might be able to find it on Amazon a little bit cheaper later next week. My understanding is it's sold out in a lot of places. I think I picked up the last copy on Saturday at Etten Games, but I did see a post this morning that they got more in today. They got their shipment in and they got more. So that's good. I mean, so anyway, that's Starfinder. Pick it up. I think it's worth it. I think it is worth the $60. It's a phenomenal read so far. I've read a little bit of the beginning book. I've read character creation. I like the direction they're going in. I like how they're describing things and they're pointing it out to you. They're giving really clear-cut examples. I think it's going to be a good game. Like I said, is it going to be one that I'm going to GM a lot? No. Would I play in it? Yeah, I'd play in a game if someone ran it. If one of my fellow GMs said, hey, John, I'm running Starfinder. It's going to be a 6 to 8 week session. You want to play it? Sure, I'd jump right in. So anyway, hopefully there'll be Hero Lab support just as well as there was for Pathfinder, which is phenomenal. Hero Lab is great software. Strong, free plug for them because Rob over there at Hero Lab does fantastic work, and if you haven't tried out Hero Lab, give it a try. Download it for free. Try it out, and if you like it, buy it. I think it's like $30. It's totally worth it, and it comes with a free game system. So if you wait long enough, you might even be able to get Starfinder for free. I got Savage Worlds for free because I'm a Savage Worlds guy. So anyway, but that's a shameless plug for Hero Lab. Check it out. It's fantastic software. Allows you to manage your characters and everything. You can even use it at the gaming table. And it'll print characters. You can import art, the whole 9 yards. So anyway, give Hero Lab a try. They also do Realmworks or Realm World. Phenomenal GM type software for managing your world, especially if you're running your own home campaign. Phenomenal. I highly recommend it. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Starfinder. I think it's a buy. Especially if you're a fan of Pathfinder, then this is a definite buy. If you're a fan of fantastical sci-fi, it's a buy. If you're not a fan of crunchy, this might be out of your wheelhouse. It depends. It depends on the level of crunch. It doesn't appear, that it's going to have a ton of crunch, but I think as books come out, it's going to fall into that same category as Pathfinder. Meaning too many books, too many rules, too many modifiers, confusing for a grognard like me. That being said, for right now, I'm enjoying it. I'm glad I got it. I'm looking forward to reading some more tonight. I'm going to curl up early in bed, and I'm going to read this bad boy. So anyway, everybody, that's Mr. Mean's thoughts on Starfinder from Paizo Publishing, released late last week, pretty much a Gen Con release, and it's a buy. So as always, remember, peace and hair grease, and be nice.